what you're here to find out is whether or not we got our conditional green card. Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. This is me, Angelo. I am back again. I am a passport brother who brought his fiance from Vietnam to come live with me in the United States as we get things settled before we plan our relocation back to Southeast Asia and live the rest of our lives. But what you're here to find out is whether or not we got our conditional green card. Last time I was here, we talked about the amazing interview that we had, that Nia and I had at the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service office in downtown Los Angeles with a wonderful gentleman named Michael, who started off really stern and a little strict, although friendly. And then by the end of the interview, he was wishing us all the best and telling us that he wanted most of his clients, the people who came to interview with him, to be like Nia and I, like couples like we were. We still had a request for evidence, so there were still some things that I needed to present to him, and I submitted that on, I believe it was November 10th, but if I'm wrong about the date, I'll put it somewhere down here on the screen because I did postmark it and I sent it 2-day priority mail with a delivery confirmation and signature required. So he did receive that information, and then curiously enough, I received a formal I-767 notice of action form, and it said that they had requested additional information. It was a request for evidence, RFE, and it was telling us to submit that information to the lockbox location within 90 days. Now, Michael has told us, Michael is the interviewer at the USCIS, told us to send our information to him directly so that he could process it much faster. Otherwise, if it goes through the lockbox, it's got to go through all of these procedures and steps and things before it goes. And the procedure could take months. So when I got that letter, I thought it was a little weird, but I said, hey, I'm not going to freak out. I'm just going to wait because Michael told us to send the information to him, and I did, and I got notification that he received it, and so I'm just going to wait. A week later, I got another letter, exact same copy of the first letter that said, this is the I-767, 776, I forgot what it's called. You've been notified about a request for evidence, additional evidence to prove a bona fide marriage, and blah, 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 blah. So I got that. I got a little bit worried, and I spoke to Nia, and I said, okay, well, what we can do at this point is we can decide that we are going to go ahead and send a copy of everything we sent directly to the interviewer, send it to that lockbox, just so we avoid the possibility of having someone say, hey, your 90 days have elapsed and you did not send the information because we don't have any record of it going to our lockbox. So that was my biggest fear. But I decided that I was going to wait and see what happens, and then maybe another week, another 2 weeks, maybe another 3 weeks. It still gave us a lot of time because we still had 90 days, and all of this happened at the beginning of March. So I decided to wait, and today we got a piece of mail from the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, and there were actually 2 pieces of mail. What? So I got a little worried, and so I opened up one piece of mail. I opened it up slowly, and I unfolded it, and I looked, and I couldn't make out anything. Everything was a blur. And then I just went right down to the description of what that notice was about, and it said, your application for a conditional permanent resident green card has been approved. Yay! Hey, hey, hey. So it has been approved, and so I opened up the second letter, and it said exactly the same thing. So the only thing that I can think of is that when I sent the form G1145, which is the notification form, I put down to notify me for one and or notify Nia for the other. But I think maybe something got misconstrued, and so they just sent 2 letters out to Nia. Either way, we got 2 letters, 2 approval letters that her conditional green card has been approved. It's good for 2 years. Do we have to be, I think, recertified or something like that to prove that, bona fide relationship, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff. So she is officially here to stay. She's not here right now because she's at the school attending her citizenship classes. So I guess we were kind of positive thinkers and putting forth that positive energy and just going ahead with her citizenship classes, which she's been taking out actually for the last month or so. So we're there. And so now we can put all of these all of this stress behind us and try to focus on, what our next steps are. And so what our next steps are, and I'll share these with you. Our next steps are: 1, a brother got to lose some weight. Yes, I admit it. I've gotten a little chunky. It started around just around the epidemic. And I started putting on weight because obviously all of the gyms and things were closed. And it happened at a time where I had just won a competition at work. Me and all of these young guys, we went on a weight loss competition, and I smoked everybody. And I won. Everybody had to put up cash, and I won $265 for losing the most weight in a 3-month period of time. I won, and I was the oldest person competing in that competition. I smoked everybody. I'm very competitive when it comes to it. But then shortly after that, the epidemic hit. Everything shut down. Things changed. I was sitting on my behind for a long time, and I started to put on weight and more and more and more. And now, with me essentially running the security program, commercial property, retail property, I do a lot of paperwork. So I'm not out there pounding the pavement like I used to be, but I do a lot of paperwork, a lot of administrative stuff, a lot of whatever, leadership stuff, whatever. So I am making a decision and a promise that I'm going to get back in shape. So I've told Nia I'm going to get back in shape, and I'm starting to work on that right now after the celebration for our conditional green card is over. So that's number 1. That's what's on the horizon, me getting back in shape. 2, I am going to renew taking my lessons, learning the language of Vietnamese. I've already paid for the program. I studied for probably well over a year and a half, and then I've dropped it. I'm going to pick it back up. I've been using a very cool program that's been very, very helpful. Actually, I've used more than one, but the core program has one, and I'll share that with you at a later date. But what will start to happen is Nia will start to appear more in these videos with me, and part of our videos will be in Vietnamese. So you guys get to be the judge of whether or not I'm doing a good job or not. So we've got losing weight, we've got learning Vietnamese, and there was one other thing, but I can't remember, so I'm not going to mention it now. But those are the things that I'm going to be working on. Nia is working on her Oh, she is studying for the GED, so she's going to get the GED here, just so she has an American-based educational milestone on her CV, curriculum vitae, or resume, before she goes out and starts to look for, a job out there in the corporate world. So wow, I'm just very grateful that this experience, we've been able to navigate it. It's brought us closer together. We didn't use any service, any law firms or anything like that. We did it all on our own, and we were successful. We did make some mistakes along the way, and I've tried to share those in my previous videos, and I'm actually going to go back and kind of go over certain aspects of the process. I've actually got a video that I posted not long ago that covers all 53 steps from downloading the I-129F form for a K-1 visa, fiancé visa, all the way to applying for a conditional green card. So I'm going to submit more of that on the web, on YouTube, so that hopefully it can help some of you guys out there, and you can have as much success as we have had in our journey. And I'm just really grateful that things have worked out, and I thank you guys for all being with me, and I guess I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.